Live. Welcome, everybody. Hey, good to see you, Ashok. Your lovely smiling face. All right, so we are going to continue on with what we covered last week with looking at how the mind is a creative instrument. And we started to explore how we can focus our mind, hold in mind exactly what we want, because a lot of times we think we are, but we really aren't. We're holding in mind the disaster, and we pull that right at us. So if you didn't get a chance to follow along with what we did last week, it's on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Power of Quiet. And we're going to go a step further tonight. We're going to really focus in on taking control of your mind, because most of us, our mind is controlling us, whether we want to admit it or not. It really is, because we are holding on to this thing, this critical voice in our heads. It's always bossing us around, telling us what to be afraid of, telling us what we should beat ourselves up about today, this hour, what we should beat ourselves up. And it's just constantly just grinding us with negativity. And we're letting it. So we're going to just prove to ourselves that we are the boss. That mind, it belongs to us. And it's time now to stop letting it run the show, right? You see, when you really get control over your mind, and how do you get control of your mind? By quieting it, right? You just quiet the mind, and then you are in control. And in this state, it's like the mind is just like a remote control, because it is a tool, it's an instrument, and you push the right buttons and you get a result, right? And you're pushing those buttons anyway, but you're just kind of smashing them blindly, not realizing what it is that you're pushing most of the time. So you're just getting these really awful channels showing up on your television, on your Netflix, whatever you like. But when you get control of your mind, when you just get it nice and quiet, then you see everything out there is your picture. So if you want to change the world, which I think a lot of us right now, we're still really into wanting to change what's going on. And we feel like we're a victim. We are forced to stay inside. We are forced to not work. Some of us have been stripped from our jobs, from our livelihoods for the time being. And we're blaming somebody else or something else. We're blaming the virus, or we're blaming China, or we're blaming Trump. And it's us that are really in charge here. So we're going to explore that. And more importantly, we're going to get focused on getting positive out of the situation. So instead of just spinning around with, what do I do next? How do I put my life back together after the lockdown ends? Well, you'll see. You're going to see how everything can change in just a second, just from a shift in perspective. Instead of being a victim and being frightened, you're going to feel just confident and in charge. And then you will be proactive to hold in mind what you really want and focus on those goals and make those goals a reality. So instead of sitting and worrying about what you're going to do, you're just going to shift your perspective so that you know what to do. So on that end, what we're going to do is we're going to work on your goals. I'm going to show you also some of Lester Levinson's discoveries about how the mind works and how he just effortlessly created abundance wherever he looked. Everything just worked his way. And that's what we're going to get an experience of. All right. So I'll share some of Lester's stories, and we'll apply those teachings tonight, and we'll be working together one-on-one. And at the end, we'll do a nice big, what we call a cleanup. It's kind of cleaning up your consciousness. It's like a guided meditation, although I don't really like to call it meditation because it's more active than that. It's more just like stepping into your power. So we'll conclude with that. So when we leave this call tonight, this group coaching session, you're going to feel just very powerful, very alive. And your whole picture of the world is going to change. All right, good. Good to see a nice big crowd. Wonderful. And I see some familiar faces. Wonderful. Okay, so let's begin. Before we begin, let me just ask if there's anybody here who is new to this work, new to what we're doing here. Maybe you're invited by a friend, or you've watched some of the other YouTube videos, but you're just a beginner, right? Let me know in the chat. When you're dialed in on Zoom, at the bottom, you'll see a list of menu options. And at the bottom right, there'll be a little ... for more options. And if you click on that, you can see some things that you could do to interact. You could raise your hand. So when we work later, if you want to work, you could raise your hand. You could also open up a chat window, and you could type in, and I'll see your messages here. So, okay, so we have a couple here, all right? So again, if you are new, just let me know in the chat. And what I'll do is I'll give you a very brief overview of what it is that we do here, where this work came from, who this guy Lester Levinson is that I mentioned earlier, and also I'll give you a demonstration of the power of this work. Because one of the things that's really great about what we do here is that it's 100% experiential, meaning you're not going to understand it with your mind. In fact, what I recommend right now is just setting your mind aside. You see, it's like learning how to ride a bike. You can watch other people ride a bike. You can read books on it. You can attend lectures about it and know a lot about it up here. But until you get on the bike, you're not going to know what it's like to ride it. And once you get on the bike, no matter how much you've learned up here, it's a whole different story when you start trying to get yourself balanced on it. But once you get on the bike, you do it, like something clicks in. And it's like, oh, now I know how to ride, right? So that's exactly what this work is like. And for that reason, you're really going to enjoy what we do here. All right. Hey, you're awesome too, Ali. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let me just give you a quick history of where this method came from. It all started with a scientist. He was a physicist. He was an engineer. He was somebody who had a lot of book smarts. He spent his whole life studying to understand what makes the universe tick and to explain why we are here. And all the studying that he did, all the knowledge that he accumulated, he was really determined to find those answers. And what happened was one day, he was relatively young. He was just 42 years old. And he had suffered his second massive heart attack. And it hit him so bad that second time that the doctor said, hey, you're not going to survive this. There's nothing we can do for you. We can't even keep you in the hospital right? So we're just going to send you home. Sorry. And when he went home, he looked at himself. He looked at the fact that he did all of this studying, all this work, and it got him nowhere. It didn't get him the answers that he was looking for. It didn't get him into any more understanding of how the universe really worked or why he was here on this planet. It just got him to a place where he was a dead man. So this guy Lester, what he said to himself when he saw this is he said, Lester, you're stupid, 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 because you just wasted your time for nothing. Now you're a dead man. And he was very afraid of the situation that he found himself in. Kind of like a lot of us now are afraid, because there's a lot of uncertainty, both with the virus and also with what's happening in the economy. It's, there's a lot of uncertainty. And so, confronted with such a situation where you just don't know, if you're even going to be around. I mean, most of us aren't that extreme right now. But, Lester being confronted with the end, he was very afraid. And he sat down and said, well, you know what? I'm not dead yet. My life has been about finding these answers. And right now I'm still breathing. I still have an opportunity to find these answers. And what he did was, being a proper scientist, he saw that the strategy that he was using before wasn't working. So he said, well, if that strategy isn't working, let's throw all of that out. Let's start from scratch, right from the beginning, and let's see what we can find from here. So he threw away all of his knowledge, all of his understanding about the mind, about physics, about the universe, about psychology. He just set all that information aside. And then he started to examine his life. And he found that, there were times in his life when life was great, when he was making lots of money because he was a serial entrepreneur. He started lots of businesses, right? And in those times when life was great, he had great relationships. He felt a lot of love and connection with his partners and with his family. And also in his body. He saw that there were times when his body was just alive and full of energy. And there are other times in his life that were not so great. And those are the times when he saw that his businesses were failing, and sometimes he had to shut them down. Those times when his relationships are strained and combative. And the times when his body was suffering, was sick. And it wasn't just a heart attack. He had really just all sorts of bad problems with his body. He had jaundice several times a year. He had ulcers that were like open wounds in his stomach. Just all sorts of bad news going on. And he saw a difference between the good times in his life and the bad times. What he saw as the good times was he was loving. He was really just giving love and appreciation to the world, to others, without any thought of anything coming back to him for giving that love. He was just loving freely, loving unconditionally. And those were the times when his life was great. The bad times, he saw he wasn't loving. He was doing the opposite. Instead of giving it, he was wanting it. He was looking for others to give it to him, right? Hey, you didn't tell me you love me. You didn't tell me how good I look. He was wanting it from his business. He was wanting to control people, his competitors. He was wanting to control his customers. If they didn't do what he wanted to do, he was upset. And he was frustrated. And he was working hard to make things work, right? So he was trying to control it. And there's a big difference in this, because In loving, it was just free. It was open. It was unconditional. But in the looking for it, wanting it from the others, and if things didn't go his way, then trying to control it, arrange things so that they could be the way he wanted to. That way didn't work. That's what got him those heart attacks. That's what got him those ulcers. And so what he decided is, you know what? I'm going to stop looking for that love. I'm going to stop trying to control things, rearrange things so that they suit me. Instead, I'm just going to allow things to be as they are, and I'm going to love everyone and everything just as they are. Now, in order to do that, I got to give up my lacking feelings, my non-loving feelings. How do I do that? Right? So he set himself in this direction, and it led him to stumble upon a natural ability that we all have to just let go. Let go of our negativity. You know, our frustration when things don't go our way, or when somebody says something that we don't like, or doesn't say something that we want them to say, right? We get mad, right? Why should we feel that way? Why should we feel so hostile if we don't get our way? So frustrated. And also so afraid when we're not sure of our future. We are afraid of the unknown. Things like that. See, we all have these experiences, this negativity. And this negativity blocks us from feeling this natural love. And it's something we can let go of. That's what Lester discovered, how to let go of these negative feelings. And I'll give you a demonstration how to do that. It's super easy. We all can do it. It's a natural ability. And it starts by examining your mind, right? Because you have a mind, don't you? And what is the mind? It's a voice, a sound in your head. And for as long as you know, you've lived with this voice. It's been there with you through school, through high school, and your first job. And it's been guiding you, telling you what to do, what to watch out for, what not to do. And rarely do we stop and examine this voice. Where did it come from? What is it? How do we end up with this voice? Now, there's one thing that's certain. It is your voice, right? After all, have you ever caught it talking to anybody else but you? No, it only talks to you. It may criticize somebody around you. It might disapprove of the situation, the surroundings, but it's talking to you, always. Now, maybe that means you own that mind. You're the owner of it. And look right now at how it talks to you. How often does it say something nice to you? Rarely, right? Most of the time, it's criticizing. It's judging. It's pushing you. Right? You didn't do good enough today. Right? You need to do better. You made a mistake. And you know what you should do about that? You should feel bad about it. You should beat yourself up about it. Right? Isn't that how the mind talks to you? Like all day long? And rarely does it say anything nice. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you how to get bigger than this mind. Take your power back from it and let go of that negativity that's fueling the mind, fueling all those negative thoughts and stories that it throws at you. But before I do that, I want to point out another master. One that came along before Lester, His name was Bing Crosby. And he sung a song that went something like, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between. I'm sure you've heard that song. It's a very lovely song. And it makes a great point. So you've got to accentuate the positive. Focus on the positive. And as we're looking at the mind, you see, I want you to really look at the situation that you're in right now, with being locked down, with your work. Maybe you're working at home, doing the best that you can to keep your business running, keep your job going, keep it stable. Maybe you've been cut back and you're having to take a little bit of a cut in your work, in your pay. Maybe you lost your job. You don't have anything that's going on right now. Right? Now that's the situation. That's what you're looking at the moment, wherever that looks like to you. And you also have some goals, some intentions about, well, what do I want to do with my life? Certainly I don't want to be locked down forever. I don't want to be jobless or, struggle financially. I would like to have my life be stable, have it be more abundant, have more freedom, right? So these are like things that you have goals towards. But as you're sitting now in the situation, how much are you accentuating the positive? What it is that you would like to really have, to create, to move on with your life, versus focusing on the negative. When is this lockdown going to end? How bad is the economy going to be? How long is it going to take for the pieces to be put back together? Am I going to survive? Am I going to have to move? Get a smaller place? What are you dwelling on? Are you dwelling on moving forward in your life, or trying to put out fires right now? Are you accentuating the positive or the negative? Now, the reason why I said Bing Crosby must have been a master is he put in there, don't mess with Mr. In Between. What is Mr. In Between? I'll give you a guess. It's that mind. It's that ego. And so, as we go through this evening, we're going to learn not to mess with that thing. Not to hold on to it. Give it so much credit, so much value. We're going to really focus on letting it go. And like I said, what we're going to do is experiential. So experiential, you're going to see something much greater show up than that mind. Something that's much more intelligent, much more powerful, and can produce solutions instantly. All right? That is accentuating the positive. All right, so let's begin. All right, so think about something that you're worried about in your life right now with this situation. Whether it's health, money, whether it's worried about your family, others that you're not able to really be in contact with right now. Take a look. What are you dwelling on that you're worried about? And let me ask you this. I think Eckhart Tolle asked this question. I think it's a great question. Have you ever worried yourself out of a problem? And look at what it is that you're worried about now. Dwelling on it. Focusing on it. Are you finding a solution? Or are you finding yourself stuck? Just worried, and it looks like there's no answer right now. And just look. Now, you're not going to resolve the answer from your mind. It should be clear by now, just by looking. You're not worrying yourself out of the situation. Your mind really isn't that helpful. The only thing that it's helping do right now is agitating you. You see? So, what we're going to do is disengage the mind and go right to the source of where that worry is and let that go so we can be open to a solution. And you will see. You'll start to open up and find a real solution here. All right? So this is how you do it. Now, your mind's not going to give you the answer. So I want you to do is just kind of disengage that mind right now. So as you're looking at this situation, close your eyes. Put your head down towards your stomach or chest. And as you think about this situation, whatever it is that you're facing, that you're worrying about right now, notice as you think about it, if you feel a kind of a clenching feeling, like a tightness, a contraction in your chest, maybe lower in your stomach, kind of a sort of a feeling. You feel that? Now what I want you to do is open up an imaginary window or door, wherever you feel that tightness or contraction. And imagine that energy. It's just energy there that you're feeling, that's all clenched up. Just imagine that energy going right on out that door. Just open up that imaginary door and watch that energy leave. Whatever it looks like to you. It could look like water pouring out, or smoke pouring out, whatever. Just imagine that energy that's in that contraction, just going right on out that door. And watch it leave some more. And some more. And some more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And just open up. You could even feel it leaving. You feel it moving out the door. And just allow it to leave some more. And even more. And notice how you feel now. Notice that that contraction is lighter. Maybe it's even gone. And notice how you feel, if you feel a little bit lighter. Notice the difference? And that's all we're looking for. See, how easy is that? And now think about that situation. And see if you're so bothered by it. You feel a little bit more like, no, it's okay. I can find an answer. I can handle it. Just notice a difference in your thinking now. Or maybe you're just not thinking about it so much. Maybe your mind is quieter. Notice that. Notice the difference? All right. So let me know what you experienced in the chat if you feel a difference. And if you have any questions about it, I'm just giving you a very, very brief introduction. But if you have any questions, we can handle that because I want to make sure everybody gets it. All right, so Nicholas, you say, does it matter at all where you feel it? Yeah, it's always at the base of the throat. That's fine. But yeah, you'll see it. It's all right in here. From your stomach up to your throat. Sometimes, we feel things like maybe in our head or, somewhere else. But you could also find that contraction going on in your center here. That's where you'll really feel it, and that's where you can really let it go. All right, good. Any other questions? You could also raise your hand. And Sean, you said you get stuck in your head. That's why I said close your eyes, put your head down. So just shift your focus, right? And if you keep getting stuck, well, that's easy to handle. It's your head after all. Right, so we can handle that when we work on one-on-one. All right, so everybody's doing okay? Nobody is feeling stuck right now, like you tried it, you don't feel anything? Everybody's good? All right, good. Okay, so what we're going to do throughout this evening, I'm going to just keep guiding you and reminding you, just this simple exercise. And we'll focus on this. This is going to make a huge difference. So as we work, there'll be some people that may be more advanced, and I might kind of get a little bit more deeper with them, but you could still just use the same basic principle that we're doing right now. And let's do it again. All right? Think about something that's agitating you right now. Maybe you're ready for this thing to end. Right? You're ready to go outside. It's springtime now. Or maybe you're agitated at what certain people are doing. Whether it's the government or people breaking quarantine, doing stupid stuff that is making the situation worse. Right? And when you think about what it is that's agitating you, again, close your eyes, put your head down towards your stomach or chest. And when you're thinking about that person, that situation, notice if you get that tight, clenching feeling. And you know what that clenching feeling is? That's your body letting you know you're fighting with your feelings. You're pushing them down, you're suppressing them. And it's not natural. You're not meant to be constantly shoving your feelings down and holding on to them. That's why it feels so uncomfortable and tight. And now you can open up. So just open up. Open up an imaginary door. And let that energy just go right on out the door now. Let it leave. And let it leave some more. And even more. And even more. It's just energy passing through. You don't have to make anything out of it. You don't have to place any value on it. You don't have to know where it came from. Who cares? Right? Just open up the door and allow that energy to leave. Just energy passing through. And allow it to leave some more. And some more. and even more. And notice how you feel now. Lighter? And that's all we're looking for, just a lighter feeling. That's showing that you're moving in the right direction. And now, take a look at that situation or that person that agitates you or was agitating you. And notice the difference when you think about that. Are you as agitated now as you were a couple of minutes ago? Notice that difference? Right? See, what does that tell you? When you let go of the feeling in your stomach or chest, just let go of that energy, the thinking quiets down. And in the absence of the thinking, something positive is arising. And that's nothing that you can put your finger on. You can't identify why or how, but you just feel more confident, more positive. And real tangible answers just show up, just like an idea. Oh, hey, I could do that. Oh, hey, what about that solution? And it didn't come from your mind. It's just like, where'd that come from? That's a crazy idea. I never thought of that before. So it's like you tap into a higher intelligence that's beyond your mind, into a realm of all-knowingness. It's pretty awesome. And this is just a taste of it. See, that lighter feeling, you just get in a taste. And extrapolate it. You could imagine how good this can get, right? And also what this shows you is your mind, it's meant to be a servant to you, a tool for you to use. You see, the mind is a creative instrument. Whatever you hold in mind, whatever you focus on, you create. Now, in a very practical way, now you don't have to believe in the law of attraction or anything like that, just in a very practical way. You know that if you focus yourself, like you focus yourself on a project, you exclude things that interrupt you, and you are determined to see that project all the way through, usually you succeed, right? You just get focused, you see what it is, the result that you want to achieve, and you make it happen. Now, sometimes it takes a lot of work, sometimes it doesn't work, but it shows you how you use your mind. The more you focus, the more likely you are to get a result. Now, like I said, the mind has kind of become its own monster. Instead of being there to do your bidding, for you to, be very clear and focused, it's scattered. It's like all over the place. Well, what about this? What about that? Oh, let's watch TV, or no, let's get on the internet. Oh no, let's go to sleep. Oh, I don't feel so good. I want to just curl up and play dead today. Right? So the mind is just scattered and, just pulls you all over the place. It's not a focused thing. And when you let it run wild, it drags you along with it. Right? So it's time to, get back in control. So you're pushing the buttons exactly as you would intend. Now, there have been studies on this. This isn't anything that's like, crazy or kind of woo-woo spiritual talk. They did a study. It's been a while. I've heard about this for a long time with basketball players, where they took a group of basketball players and a group of them practiced doing free throw shots. Another group didn't even touch a basketball, but they just sat there and visualized shooting free throw shots. And then they had a control group that did nothing. Now, the control group had no improvement over a month. The group that did the physical practice and shooting, they had an improvement of about 25%. And then the ones that didn't even touch a basketball, that just visualized it, had the almost exact same results. That same improvement with their game. Now, to be fair, there have been other studies that haven't shown any difference with visualization. So, in certain situations, we could see it works. In certain situations, we see it doesn't work. And we see this now with, like, the law of attraction. Most of us are familiar with this. Where, we do vision boards. We try to focus on positive thinking, visualizing, what is I want, imagining having it, and so on. And that's good. It's like the visualization, right? And to the mind, it really doesn't know the difference. What it sees that you picture in your mind versus what you picture with your eyes. But why is it that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't? Well, it all goes to that scattered brain mentality of the mind. Right? It's just all over the place. And there's a lot of negativity. Right? You were examining it a moment ago. How often is it positive? Not so often. So maybe it's that negativity that is stealing, robbing you of the success, of being able to create exactly what you want. And the mind's also very compelling. It draws you in with that negativity. And you become addicted to it. It's like you're more interested in the negativity than the positivity for some strange reason. That's because you're letting the mind lead you. That's why people, when they pass a car accident, they slow down and they stop and look. And so, rather than really getting clear and focusing on what you really want, it's much easier just to go along with the mind and feel like, oh, there's no chance. I'm never going to do it. I'm no good. Right? See, this is all that negativity that your mind throws at you. And we just experienced how you can start quieting that. Now, what if you quieted all that negativity in your mind? How successful would you be with whatever you put your attention on? Wouldn't it be easier? Would it be faster? Right? So we're going to work on that. All right, so some of you have raised your hand already. And if you would like to do some work, we'll work on your goals. We'll help you get focused. And I'll show you, where Lester's coming from and how easy it is for a master to just focus on what they want and get exactly what they want. Right, Jan.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well right now.
Uh-huh.
I passed through a turmoil, few days of turmoil.
You passed through what? Turmoil.
Turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
And now my objective is to work on being imperturbable all the time.
Okay.
To use this situation to raise my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
I see it as a big opportunity because everybody is somehow, most of the people are drawn in the fear and panic and paranoia and conspirations, and yeah, not very well, but I want to use it
Yeah.
to raise my consciousness, because I feel in this way now I can let go a lot of fear and other negative feelings
Yeah.
and want to control.
Yeah. Let me just point out something here, because this is a great goal. All right. And you told me what your goal is. And then right after it, you told me everything that's in the way. You know, all the
Yes.
people that are panicking, how hard it is, the obstacles, right? And notice this for yourself. As you're
Yeah.
looking at where it is that you want to go to be imperturbable, how much of you right now is feeling like, yes, I could have it. Like, yeah, I could do this, this, and this, and actually get it versus, oh, what about this? What about that? Or I tried this, and, you know, I don't have
50%,
time.
51%.
Okay. So there's a mix, right? So we're going to just
Yeah,
clean up the rest.
it's a mix. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so everybody notice this. See, we think that we're focusing on our goals. And I know people that say, oh, yeah, I've been working on my goals. I've been doing it, and it just doesn't work. I can't get it. This method doesn't work. I don't know why. And then they tell me about other things that they tried. But it's really simple. If you really just look clearly, most of the time you're not really looking at, yes, I could have it. And you're not doing what what is required to get to the place where you just naturally feel confident. Just a real conviction of, yes, I can have it. Now, last week, I shared a quote from Yogananda. Now, I'll share it again. Let me pull it up here. And let me pull up this picture too. See, Yogananda was a great master. And there's something that I read, and I read this after years of doing this work, following Lester's work. And Yogananda's talking about the exact same thing. And so when I read this, it was like, yes, that's it. You're absolutely right. It's that simple. And Yogananda really put it into simple terms. So I'm going to pull that up here. I'll share it with you again. Actually, while I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at what's on your mind, Jan. All right. So what is it that is your biggest obstacle? What's your biggest challenge in being imperturbable right now?
It's a feeling of uncertainty, because I want to know what is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for certainty.
Okay.
But I don't really know, so my mind is putting something bad instead of.
Right. And see, and that's how the mind is controlling you, because it's saying, like, fill me up with more knowledge, like feed me. Right?
Yeah.
Give me more information. See, if I have enough information, then I can give you a solution, and you won't have to feel so uncertain.
Yes.
Right? But it doesn't work that way, does it?
It doesn't.
See,
it doesn't
because you've read a lot of experts, a lot of details.
And they contradict each other, and you never know what is the truth. Which is the.
And even if you know all the details, is that going to make you feel better?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I know exactly how the virus attacks the lungs. Great. Now I feel much better. So you're using your mind to handle a feeling, to resolve that feeling of uncertainty.
Yes. Yes.
And
Right.
it's ill-equipped for the job.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Right.
see, as you're looking at your mind, you're getting distracted from yourself,
Of
where
course.
you have the power to feel
Yeah.
certain, to feel good, to feel positive, right?
Yes.
But you're feeling that uncertainty. Yes?
Yeah. Maybe it's much bigger.
Yeah. Now, check and see if you are fighting with that uncertainty.
Oh yes, I'm looking all the time
Yeah,
on
I mean, you're
Facebook,
fighting with it
different experts.
by
Yeah.
using your mind. That whole
Yeah.
action
Yeah. Yeah.
is because
It's
you don't like the uncertainty.
yes, I reject it and I try to reduce it. So I fight against.
Yeah. Now, remember Lester, his message was love. It's a time in his life when he was just loving unconditionally everything. That his life is great. Right? And you see, that's absent right here. You're not loving that certainty.
Of course.
Okay.
I know.
All right, so could you let go of disapproving of that situation, that uncertainty?
Yes.
Could you let go of disapproving of it? Some
Yes.
more. Could you let
Yes.
go of rejecting that feeling?
Yes.
And could you let that go some more?
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And could you let go of wanting to be separate from that feeling?
Yes.
Wanting it to be gone. Because that's your strategy in using
Yeah.
your mind. So it can go away. Right?
Yes.
Could
Yes.
you let
Yes.
go of wanting it to go away
Yes.
and be separate from you?
Yes.
Could you let that go some more?
Yes.
Right? Now, how does that feel?
Each time I let go, I feel lighter.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to point this out for everybody here, especially those that are new here. Now, I showed you one very basic way to release, finding that contraction, opening up the door, letting the energy go. But notice what Jan is doing right here. He's making a decision, right? He's exercising some discrimination in his thinking to see things clearly, right? Because we all do this. Like, we fight with our feelings. If we have uncertainty or fear or other negativity in us, we want it to go away. Like, get it out of here. We try to figure out how to get it out of here. And it doesn't work. But do we learn the lesson? No.
No.
Like idiots, we just continue doing the same thing and expecting different results. Right? We keep going on fighting with it, trying to figure out a solution, a way around it. And it never works. But we never learn. Now, again, the reason why we're in the situation where we just keep trying the same stupid thing again and again and again without getting results and not learning our lesson, it's because we're listening to that mind. We're captivated by it. It's convinced us that it has all the answers. And it's controlling us rather than us being in control. But when we start exercising a little bit of clarity, start looking at the situation saying, oh, no, that doesn't work. Now, I can make a difference. I can make a decision. And that's what Jan did. He just decided, all right, can I let go of pushing it away since that doesn't work? Can I let go of disapproving of it since that doesn't work? And by saying yes, making that decision, what Jan is doing is now getting bigger than that mind. And you feel the results, right, Jan?
Yes, yes.
All right. So, now can you just let yourself feel that uncertainty?
Yes.
And could you give that uncertainty feeling some approval?
Yes.
And could you give it some more approval?
Yes.
And could you give it some more approval?
Yes.
And some more?
Yes.
And could you give it some more approval?
Yes.
And some more?
Yes.
And even more?
Yes.
And how does that feel?
Much better.
Okay.
Much lighter. Relaxed. Open.
And so you don't need any extra information to get into a positive place and have a whole different picture,
Yes.
right?
Right.
In this place, see if it's as possible to get sick as it was before.
No, I don't have this picture in my mind
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Right. See, it just disappears.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
it was a picture nurtured by fed by my feelings.
Mm-hmm. So now, when you look at being imperturbable, what's stopping you from being completely imperturbable right now?
This it's I have a thought in my mind that I have to be unconditionally loving, and I don't know what is this. I don't really feel this, and I'm afraid of this. My mind is telling me that it's something dangerous. I can challenge
To
God.
be unconditionally loving is dangerous?
Yeah, because
Or
I
the fact that
can
you cannot
challenge.
feel it?
What?
Or you said that
Sorry.
you cannot feel that you can be unconditionally loving, you said.
Yes, I cannot. I'm not sure that I can do this.
Okay.
I'm afraid of lying myself,
Uh-huh.
and in this way challenging danger somehow
Now, where's all this information coming from?
from the mind, of course.
Right. And look at how it's leading you down a road that has no end to it, no solution
Yes,
there.
yes, it's complexity coming from the mind.
Right. So your mind doesn't have an answer.
Yes,
And how long have you been looking for that answer in your mind?
I don't know, maybe for a long time.
Okay. So again, without the discrimination, you're just letting your mind tell you what you can or cannot do, rather than really finding out for yourself how to be unconditionally loving. You see, your mind isn't going to give you the answer. So doesn't it make sense now to set that mind aside?
Yes,
All right, so just set it aside.
yes, I decide this.
Now see how your attitude has been towards yourself. Have you been critical of yourself or disapproving of yourself?
Oh yeah. I doubt myself and I'm disapproving myself.
All right,
Yeah.
and who's doing that?
I'm doing this.
Okay, good. That's good news. Because if you're doing it, now you can make a decision. I'm going to be positive and loving, or I'm going to be critical, doubtful, lost. Which would you prefer?
my body gave me the answer. I prefer to be positive and
Okay.
loving.
All right. So right now, could you let go of criticizing yourself?
Yes,
And could you let go of judging yourself?
yes,
And could you let go of doubting yourself, whether you're loving or not?
yes,
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself?
yes,
Could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more?
yes,
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more?
yes,
And even more.
yes,
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself a little bit more?
yes.
How do you feel now?
I feel like some love and quiet. It's starting to grow inside of me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Can you allow that to grow?
Unconditional. Yeah.
Yeah. And could you give yourself some love now?
Yes.
And could you give yourself a little bit more love?
Yes.
Could you love yourself even if you don't know how to love?
That's good. Great.
Could you love yourself
That's a
unconditionally?
big
Just
one.
because. No reason. Not because you found a solution. Not because you became imperturbable. Could you love yourself, flaws and all, right now?
Yes. Yes.
And could you love yourself even more?
Yes.
And could you love yourself even more?
Yes.
Could you love yourself unconditionally?
Yes.
All right. Now, how possible is it for you to love yourself unconditionally?
I feel this is not anymore a problem. I don't feel it's relevant because I feel it. I am like
Mm-hmm.
what I was looking for before.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel I am loving.
Right. Now, notice this difference. You see, a moment ago, you were convinced you didn't know how to love unconditionally.
Yes, I wanted to know.
Right? And see, that's because you're looking at your mind.
Yes.
It was an illusion. It blocked you from seeing the truth.
Yes.
And as long as you're stuck in the mind, see, you could be just a half millimeter away from total freedom. But if you're looking at your mind, it'll completely convince you that you are kilometers away.
Yes,
right.
Yes, right.
Yeah. And in one moment, it feels like there's no option, no hope.
Yeah.
But then you get out of the mind, and boom, the whole picture changes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like a night and day difference. And this is a very important reminder that you got to eliminate the mind. Don't feed it more information. Focus on emptying it out, because you're going to have access to much greater information. See, all the stuff that the scientists have discovered, I mean, to some degree it's correct. I mean, it's the way we set stuff up, so they observe how we created things and then said, okay, yeah, well, these rules make sense. But it's like, like the tail wagging the dog. Yeah, it's at the end of the spectrum rather than right at the source of it. So you can learn all this stuff, but it's not that helpful. Go right to the source, and you'll have answers for everything. And it doesn't come from your mind. You get that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel it.
So now let's take a step further, because again, we want to bring awareness to what are we really putting our attention on most of the time. You see, what Lester said is, if your goal is X, but you put all your energy and attention on Y, you're going to achieve Y, not X,
Yes, right.
right? And how often are you really looking at the reality of being imperturbable? After all, that's your goal, right?
No, usually I'm focused on why I'm not imperturbable.
Uh-huh. Or just other distractions. You just,
Yeah.
have things to do, the family, with
Yeah,
business,
Other
know,
priorities.
taking
Yeah,
care of
yeah,
things,
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
You know.
Usually I reject or I avoid imperturbability because my mind is telling me that is uh, is making me more distant or less real, less connected with the life.
Yeah, but how's that working out for you, following that advice?
Is not working, of course, not working.
And conversely, you see, I've said it and I'll say it again, everything here is just experiential. And when you get the experience of stepping in to the beingness, beyond the mind, when you step into the love, is there anything better than that?
No,
No.
no.
No. That's what you're looking for. And it happens
Yes.
like that if you do it.
Yes.
So notice, it's your choice. You can follow along with the mind and continue holding on to it, and it's just
Yes.
going to drag you around. Or
Yes.
you can really be determined and say, I'm focusing on imperturbability, on my goal.
Yes.
Right? Now you know what it's like to be imperturbable. And you know you've been there, and you can be there. So right now, just get a picture of what your life would look like if you were completely imperturbable. Absolutely imperturbable. Just get that picture.
Yes. Yeah, it's a feeling of fulfillment.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be separate from your life and separate
No.
from your family. It doesn't mean
No.
that you're going to disappear, leave them behind, or you're going to neglect them. You're going to be
No.
like some aloof guru.
I can be in the middle of everything,
Uh-huh.
right in the middle.
Right. Yeah, you can be connected and still be imperturbable. So get that picture of being with your family. How would that look like if you were coming from a place of total imperturbability? And just get that picture for yourself. You don't have to describe it for us.
Yeah,
But
but
just
I
see.
can describe it. I can
Okay.
describe it. I see myself smiling. Whatever is happening, I see myself smiling and being very, very connected and very efficient in everything I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And very clear with my mind. Connected with the essential and with love all the time.
Right.
Or loving.
And how difficult was that? To get that picture when you focused in on it.
It wasn't difficult, but
Yes.
I never thought till this moment to another picture. I always I was looking to the obstacles, to blockages, to why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time I have a much clearer picture of this.
Yeah. Now, the reason I point this out is, is, well, the reason why I had you take a look at, what would it look like? And really stepping into that so you could feel it. You could really see it around you. What does it look like? What does it sound like? So you could see it as real, because right now the opposite seems real. Right? And if the mind is a creative machine, whatever is more real is what you get.
Yes.
Right? So if the obstacles are more real, then that's what you have, and that's what you focus on.
Yes.
If this is more real, the imperturbability, not only are you going to get it, but you're also going to be motivated to do whatever it takes to get it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it takes work. I'm not going to lie about that. See, we've dug ourselves into a deep, deep hole with our mind. And it's up to us to dig ourselves out of it. Now, some of us, we wish that someone would just come along and snap the fingers and take all of our negativity away. It doesn't work like that. See, you have your relationship with your mind, and it's up to you to really get clear about that relationship. Get clear about exactly what your mind is, and get clear about who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
It's much, much clearer now.
And by the way, that's what we're all here to do. That's why we are on this planet. That's why Lester, he determined for himself he was going to find that answer. Why am I here? What is this world about? And I say that this is a good purpose for us, is to get clear about who am I? And what is this mind? All right, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jan. All right, so I'm going to share that quote from Yogananda. You can see how peaceful and imperturbable he is in this picture. But this is what he says about the mind and imagination and its creative power. Imagination is a very important factor in creative thought, but imagination has to be ripened into conviction. You can't do that without strong will. But if you can imagine something with all the power of your will, your imagination will be converted into conviction. And when you can hold that conviction against all odds, it will come true. And his master, Swami Yukteswar, used to say to him that if your will is strong, whatever you imagine will be created for you. It is a fact. So, what we're starting to explore here is not only the power of imagination, but also the conviction that goes behind it. See, we could imagine what it'd be like to be imperturbable, but if it's like some far-off thing, like someday, or I hope to get there, it sounds good, it's always going to be like some ambivalent idea, ambiguous idea. Whereas, if we ripen our conviction, and the best way to ripen that conviction is what we're doing here, by eliminating the negativity. You see, when you let that go, that conviction just comes in. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make it happen. You have to figure it out. It's already there. It just shows up. It's like, wow, what a difference. So, really, the conviction is your natural state. And that's what's so beautiful about Lester's method, because we have this tool now. Not only a tool, but a system in place of using this tool to go inside, deep inside, and eliminate all that negativity. And what's left over is just a total conviction. In fact, you'll feel so confident, it will challenge others. It's like, why should you be so confident? Why are you smiling? Why are you so happy? And you're like, because. Just because. You should too. You feel that strong with it. And nobody can convince you otherwise. Nobody can shake you away from it. That's how strong it is. And it is your easy, natural state by eliminating the negativity. So that's our game plan. We got to examine our thinking, see how we're using our mind, and understand how we turn it around, get ourselves to where we are permanently bigger than it. Not just a little bit here, a little bit there, but permanently. All right? And like I said, that takes work. All right. All right, so Jim.
Hi, Super Chris.
Hello.
Um, since the last time I were released, I noticed some things that I want to share with you. Earlier, releasing was a bit hard and a lot of it took a lot of effort, especially when I released through that window thing. Although we didn't do that in the last releasing, but after that session, it became easier, and overall releasing became easier. And earlier releasing was more like an effort or labor, but it is kind of pleasant now.
Yeah.
And one more thing is that when I released earlier, a lot of problems came up at the same time, and I became really distracted with fear that this isn't relevant right now, and I should release on something else. Or this problem is bigger, I should focus on that. And I couldn't focus on anything. But now I can stick to just one problem regardless. Like it's like I don't care about other problems. And that's it.
Wonderful. Yeah. You see, as you release, I do have a tissue box, but it's almost empty, so this won't be it. This might not work out. See, all these feelings are just like a tissue in a tissue box. And the box has a finite number of tissues in it, right? So when you pull one out, like when you let go of one feeling, right? It's like taking a tissue out. And then inevitably the next one pops up. You take that one out, and so on. If you keep letting go of your feelings, it's like continually pulling tissues out of this box. Eventually the box will be empty. But you don't have to wait until it gets completely empty. See, as you start letting go, when you first open up a box of tissues, they're all jammed in there. You try to pull one out, and usually you rip it, right? But after you've pulled a couple out, then it's like looser. And it's like, oh, okay, oh, that came out easy. Oh, all right, now I pulled one out and 5 came out now, right? So it gets easier and easier because the load that you're carrying is getting lighter and lighter. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, full each time.
Sometimes you stop, and then you have to kind of start again, build up that momentum again. And when you stop, also notice what happens. Your mind comes in. And it throws you into doubt, gets you confused. Yes. Well, was what I was doing really working, or maybe was I just kidding myself? Right? So your mind will then start to lead you astray. But when you get back into it, it might take a little bit of effort to get going again, but then you experience it again. Oh, this is much better than the mind. Way better. And it's worth doing it now, right? Then you're not so caught up with your resistance to releasing. You feel like, okay, this is a good thing to do. and you get swept up with the goodness of it. And that makes it easier and easier and easier.
Yes.
That's how it works. And it really is. I mean, it is just like with this tissue box. There's a finite amount. See, Lester was a physicist. He understood energy. And he knew that all these feelings, it was like a mass of energy. And it's just, with consistent work, you shovel away the mass until there's nothing there. And that's what you call being a free one. That's as easy as the whole process is. So
Just keep
good.
releasing.
Keep releasing. All right, good. Good to hear. All right, so Ashley.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Hi, so nice to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you still in San Diego?
I'm still in San Diego, yep. Everything's going really good. I still have my releasing partners that I work with during the week, Rivka and Non and Alex. So
Nice.
yeah, it's really good. Nice to be on this call. Nice to see you. I miss working with you. So one thing that's been coming up for me with this, with the quarantine is, I'm really getting to feel my feelings 10 times. And I'm noticing a lot of anger coming up and just irritability. And I really would like to be able to let that pass through and just be more open and loving towards people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so can you see that you've been fighting with your non-loving feelings, that negativity inside? Maybe judging yourself, hey, I should be better than this.
Yes.
All right. And what does that do? But add to
makes
the
me feel-
negativity.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, so now that you see that, can you start to turn that around? Did you let go of disapproving of yourself?
Yes.
Right? Could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more?
Yes.
Could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more?
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more?
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of those thoughts that you have? Did you catch yourself complaining about somebody? Thoughts
Yeah.
of being worried? Could you let go of disapproving of your thoughts?
Yeah.
And could you let go of taking them so seriously?
Yeah.
And let go of disapproving of them some more.
Yeah.
Now, just watch your thoughts, all those thoughts. The worry, all those thoughts that things aren't perfect, far from it. And instead of taking them seriously now, instead of grabbing a hold on to them, just sit here now and watch them. Just watch them pass by. And just watch your mind. Whatever it serves up to you. And just watch. Don't engage with it. Just watch your mind. Watch. Watch. And it's really just throwing words at you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And who said that you had to take it so seriously?
I did.
Okay. Now, since it's your decision, who made that decision?
I made it.
And who is this I? Just pay attention to that. See, when your mind is talking to you and complaining and worrying, who's listening to it? Who's it coming to?
I am.
Yeah. And see, that part, you can't touch. You can't name.
Hmm.
It's just an isness, a presence. And it sits in complete silence. It's just here, observing. And notice that part of you never changes. If you go back 5 years and what you were doing with your life 5 years ago, you're still there to witness that. And when you were in high school, you know how crazy those times are. That same presence was there, unaffected by all that stuff going on. You notice that?
Hmm.
No matter where you are in your life, through all the ups and downs, there's part of you that was always consistent. That was just there to witness it all happening.
Hmm.
And look at that now. And see if that can be affected by the coronavirus.
No.
Either directly or indirectly.
No.
And see, this is the best thing to focus on right here, because this just very quickly eliminates the mind. You see, something that Lester pointed out once, and over his years, he kind of said different things depending on the audience. So this might even sound contradictory to the method that he gave us. But there is something that he said, and it has a lot of truth to it, is that there are a number of methods of going free. One is eliminating the negativity, and the other is focusing on the positivity, just focusing on the beingness. And he said, well, focusing on the beingness, that's much more powerful, because it takes time to let go of the negativity.
Hmm.
Right? And this is talking about here. You see, when you focus on I, it just creates an immediate shift.
Hmm.
And you feel it. You just get nice and quiet along with it.
Yeah.
Now, partially, the reason why it's so easy right now is because you've done a lot of work in letting go of the negativity. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes it much, much easier. And that's why, even though Lester says that focusing on positive, on I am, is better, that eventually with the method here, in letting go of the negativity, using Lester's method, it really is like the guaranteed way. You see, I know spiritual teachers and practitioners that focus on the I am only. They just focus on being. They say, don't mess with all that releasing stuff or whatever. Just be. It's like great advice, yeah. But most of us don't know how to do that.
Hmm.
It's very, very difficult. It's very easy to get right into our mind, thinking that we're being, but not really actually being. But it's natural and it's easy when you get the negativity out of the way. So it's a guaranteed way to get there using Lester's method, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now get in touch with that negativity. You see, what's going on right now is doing you a big favor. It's showing you how you're bothered and how you feel fragile and limited with the situation. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, part of you has seen your power, your omniscience. You've felt that. Yet, here you are, not feeling that so much, feeling very limited,
Hmm.
and probably fighting with it, right?
Hmm.
So, can you let go of fighting with that negativity that's getting stirred up? That helplessness,
Yes.
the unfreedoms that you still experience in your life. Now it's getting like really thrown in your face. They won't even let you walk outside. I was reading about how the Coast Guard out there arrested a guy for surfing.
Yeah,
He was out in
they
the
are.
ocean all by himself,
Yep.
seriously practicing social distancing. They said, no, no, no,
Hmm.
you can't do that. And they arrested him,
Hmm.
right? So, yeah, it's like now more than ever, it's getting thrown in all of our faces how limited and fragile we are in our world as long as we follow the rules of the mind. Now, as long as you don't like that, like, oh, that is undesirable, then it stays, it remains, right? So could you let go of fighting with it and making that wrong, that limitation that you have, that you're feeling?
Yes.
And could you let go of resisting that feeling,
Yes.
right? See, what is it that you don't like about what's coming up or what you're experiencing nowadays?
It's too much pressure, too much feeling. I can't suppress it.
Right? Who's applying the pressure?
I am.
Right? It's not the world. You are. And we all do this. I've been doing this lately. Sometimes I just get so focused on, okay, I gotta work, I got so much stuff to do, and then all of a sudden I catch myself. I'm in my mind, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself for no reason. Sometimes others have to remind me, and then I stop and release and go, oh yeah, you're right. Duh. All right. So could you let go of pushing on those feelings?
Yes.
You see, you just don't like how it feels.
Yeah. I don't.
That's just a feeling. It really is no different than it's hot or it's cold. It's just a sensation. And see, this feeling that you're pushing against, has it ever showed up in person and slapped you?
No.
No. No. All right, so could you let go disapproving of it then?
Yes.
Could you let go disapproving of it some more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And some more.
Yeah.
And could you let go of wanting to change it?
Yes.
Could you let go of wanting to change it some more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And some more.
Oh. Yes.
And how does that feel?
Much more released. Open.
Right. And so what is a specific problem that has been stirring you up?
I can't stand some of the people that I work with.
Okay. And are you disapproving of those people?
Oh, yeah.
Look at the problem that you're creating in your mind.
Yep.
So you're generating hate, and you're the one that has to walk around
Yeah.
with that. And then the
Exactly.
moment you see it, it like ignites that hate. And they're not experiencing it, except, if you lash out at them, but you're the one who has to experience it.
I know, it's terrible.
Right. And look, they're just people.
Oh,
And you see, whatever reason that you have for making them wrong,
mhm.
it's all coming from your mind.
Yep.
And seriously, what do you need that information for?
Don't.
All right. So could you let go of disapproving of them?
Yeah.
See, right now, it's your choice to say, I'm not following my mind anymore. I'm going to let go of this negativity because it's only eating me alive.
Yeah.
Right? So could you let go of disapproving of them some more?
Yeah.
And could you let go of disapproving of them some more?
Yeah.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And then could you let go of disapproving of them even more?
Yeah.
And how does that feel?
Much better. Loving.
Now see if you're disapproving of any specific actions that they're taking.
I am.
Okay. Could you let go of disapproving of those actions?
Yes.
Because, look, if the mind is a creative instrument and you're disapproving of specific things that they're doing, what are you holding in mind?
Those specific things.
Yeah, even when you go home, your mind's still complaining about those things, right? And if the mind's
Yeah.
creative, guess what? You just perpetuate it. It's a
Yes.
perpetual machine,
Yes.
right? And it doesn't help you to disapprove. It doesn't make their behavior change. All it accomplishes is just you feeling worse and worse. So could you let that go? That being the case.
Yeah.
Could you let go of disapproving of what they're doing?
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of it some more?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
Now see if you're still bothered by what they're doing.
No.
Could you give them permission to do whatever they want to do?
Mhm. Yeah.
And could you love them anyway?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you agree with them. Just love
Yeah.
them. What's wrong with
Yeah.
that?
Nothing.
So could you give them some approval?
Yeah.
And could you give them some more approval?
Yes.
And could you give them some more approval?
Yes.
And some more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And how do you feel now?
I just feel very loving.
Right. And now
Yeah.
see if whatever they do, if it can affect you.
No.
No, see, that's their business. Right?
Yeah.
And by you moving up, and so you're moving up from your own mind and ego, and dropping the weight of your negativity, you rise up. And not only are you like feeling better, your mind is quieter, you actually rise up above them too. And
Yeah.
they can't possibly do anything to you
Yeah.
when you're in a high energy. And you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, it's your choice. You can go down with them, or you can go up.
Yeah.
And either in the process of you going up, you can lift them with you,
Yeah.
right? You know, inspiring people do that, and they help others. But even if they're determined to be creeps and a-holes, that God bless them. It's like you can't do anything; it doesn't bother you. And eventually, what you see is they disappear out of your life.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
seen that happen time and again.
Yeah.
Right? So the answer's clear.
Yeah.
Move above the ego.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's nothing that's out of your power. All right, good.
Thank you.
Really good.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
All right, Sean, you had your hand up a moment ago.
Oh, yes. Hi, Chris.
How are you?
Very good. Very good. First of all, thank you so much for doing these calls. It's great to see you again. Been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while. It's been a long time. Thank you so much for the work tonight. It's really incredible. And I just wanted to go a little bit deep into quiet, really, into that quiet space.
Yeah.
I'm feeling amazing right now. So I just wanted to just carry on with this
Okay, get quiet.
moment. Just quietness.
So you stated your intention. Well, what's in the way of getting quiet? What's difficult
You know what it
about
was?
sometimes?
Before coming onto this call, my mind was really noisy because I was just binge watching YouTube, watching all the videos I shouldn't be watching, the negative videos, and mind was just completely out of control. And I just really struggled just getting back into that quietness. And it's just through doing this call tonight, actually, and that picture of Yogananda, that really helped a lot, picking up on his energy on that photo. And yeah, it's incredible. I took his book in, when I stayed in the call, I went into a haunted house and I took his book into the room. And
Yeah, I saw what you put in the
Melted.
chat. You want to share for, like...
yeah, I mean,
brothers that don't see
well,
it?
I take the book everywhere I go when I go on holiday. And
The autobiography of a yogi?
autobiography of a yogi, Yogananda.
Mhm.
And I went to Cornwall, and this place, it was a haunted place, and I was just really scared. Fear was just off the Richter scale. It was late at night. It was just typical dark night, church bells going, and I had the book by my side because I couldn't sleep. And within a few minutes, I just said to Yogananda, just can you just come in and can you just sort this out? Can you just take over this environment? I'm really scared. Can you just come in and sort it out for me? And within a few minutes, all the fear went, all the tension went, all the just the fear just melted away, and I slept unusually in an environment like that. I had a sound asleep as you could get in an environment like that. I woke up refreshed, and I just felt this energy. I felt his presence just coming into the room. The light, the power, the quietness, the positive energy was just absolutely incredible, really incredible. So yeah, I have a real strong connection with Yogananda, I think. So it was nice to feel that. And that picture, just looking at his face on the screen tonight, I could just feel that positive energy just washing all over me. It's like taking a shower in positivity, I suppose. So really beautiful.
Yeah. Now look at the contrast to that, what you're
Mm.
describing before. Like, when you're binge watching videos and stuff. What's going on there?
Just escaping. It's just
Yeah,
the mind
so you're
just
just
trying to
listening to
escape.
your mind,
Hmm.
right? And it just draws you in. Oh, this is interesting. Go do this. Go do that.
Mhm.
And you look at someone like Yogananda.
Oh yeah.
They don't have a mind that's pulling them to do anything. They
No.
can be perfectly centered and still. So,
Mm.
part of you is reinforcing that, feeding it. You see
Mm.
that?
Right. That makes sense.
See, part of you values that.
Mm.
You need that. It has a payoff for you. So you're keeping it.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're really interested in the quiet and the imperturbability more, you would have it. You would
Mm.
drop that mind and be there. So
Right.
you have to take a reckoning now
Mm.
and determine, well, what do I really want? Or really, what is it that I'm afraid that I will lose? What is subconsciously keeping me hanging on?
I think for me, it's the lack of. I say it's the lack of change. Is what I'd probably phrase it better. The lack of perceived
Mm-hmm.
change, because change is happening all around. It's just that when I'm in my mind, I'm not noticing it. But when I get into quiet, I feel it reminds me. Oh, yeah, of course, it's right where I am, and that's where it is. It's right where you are. You don't have to go out and to go. That's why I've stopped all the goals, really, because I found that a distraction. I found I was just getting too caught up into the mind, and it just got overpowering. But now when I just focus on just in that mindful presence, it's much smoother, lighter, freer. So. And that's where I feel I want to hang out. I want to hang out more in that
Yeah.
quietness.
Okay. Good. All right. So, but take a look at what part of you is afraid of losing, and what are you afraid of losing? What would be so awful if you let go of watching YouTube videos? So, if you never opened up your phone ever again?
Yeah, I guess I suppose it's the fear of being. It's the resistance to the silence, to the quietness.
Okay.
I resist that. There's a part of me that resists that at the same time,
Yeah. All right.
which is kind of strange.
Can you get in touch with that fear?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now welcome it up.
Right.
And see, this is the important thing to do, because a lot of times, like when you want to go into quiet, you want to get away from the fear because the quiet's much better than the fear,
Mm.
right? But you have to confront the fear.
Okay.
That's why, I've kind of poked you from time to time when you say, well, yeah, I like just doing cleanups. I don't like doing attachments and aversions, doing the other work. I just want to sit back and relax and float away. It's like, well, it's good, but you really have to go in and dig that stuff out because it's so easy to not want to look at it, and,
Yeah, it is.
and cover it up and say, well, I don't know what's there. I'm just happy being peaceful. But you have the limitation. You're not fully there. So it's a good wake up call to go, okay, I got to really dig in and find what's holding me back. Because if I'm
Okay.
really interested in that, then I will do that work and go with it. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So now just welcome up the fear. Allow it to arise.
Okay.
And just let yourself feel it. What's so bad about that feeling? Just a feeling.
Mhm.
Just feel it some more.
Okay.
And feel it some more.
Okay.
And some more. And let some more of that fear come up.
Mm-hmm.
And could you let go of holding on to that fear?
Yeah, I can do.
Could you let it go?
Yes, I can decide to do that.
Could you let that fear go some more? Just open up and let it leave.
Mm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And could you let it go some more?
Yes, I can actually. Yeah.
Yeah, just let it leave.
Okay. Yeah.
And see if you can pull up some more.
Wow. All right. Yes. Yes, I can do that.
And allow that fear to come up.
All right. Okay.
And let that fear go.
Okay, it's leaving now. Yeah.
And let it go even more.
Okay.
And
Wow.
how does that feel?
Yes. Oh, that's feeling good. Yeah, that's feeling really good.
You see, that's what does it.
That's
See, by
that's
going into the negativity, it pops you up into the positivity.
Yeah.
Right?
God, I feel like refreshed, if that's the word. Yeah.
Mhm.
Really refreshed from that.
And you'll see by doing this, when you go into quiet, you're going to get into higher and higher levels of quiet.
Mm.
Right? You probably already start to feel that now.
Yeah, really quiet. Really much more just a tiny little bit there, but
Mhm.
a lot more stable.
All right.
A lot more stable.
All right. So, what else are you afraid would happen if you dropped your mind and went completely imperturbable?
I think my mind says no money.
Okay.
It's no money. Nothing.
Right. Then could you let go of resisting that?
Okay. Yes, I can do that.
And you see, your mind has you believing that having lots of money is going to make you happy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does. And having
But look at a lot of
partner
those
as well.
wealthy people. Do they look happy?
No, they don't.
Right. So
No.
that's your mind for you. And now you can see how it talks to you and the lies that it's telling you. And what it's accomplished, and this is the goal of the mind, is to put you into resistance. Get you negative.
It does.
Because then you're not looking at who you are. You're looking at whatever it can give you, and you're propping it up. You see?
You can see that.
All right. So now all you have to do is to unhook yourself from that, is let go of the resistance.
Okay. Let's let go. Yeah, I decided to let go.
And just let go of the resistance. Welcome it up, just like with the fear. Just allow it to come up. You see, also, you don't like the resistance. It's kind of a harsh feeling.
It is.
So it's like,
It's a bit
you know,
strong.
a lot of times we're like wanting to avoid it, escape it. But just let yourself feel the resistance. Just a feeling. That's all resistance is, just a feeling. Right? Feel it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just weird, out of control,
Right.
strange word.
Just feel it. Surrender to it.
Okay.
And give yourself permission to be out of control.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, got it.
Just surrender to feeling out of control. And welcome that out of control feeling up. Just feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Give yourself permission to be overwhelmed now. Just dive right into that feeling.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that hit the nerve right there.
Right.
Oh,
And
that's
now
good.
can you just let it leave? Open up and see it as energy passing through. That resistance, right? That out of control feeling. It's just energy. Open up. Let
Okay.
it
Yes,
leave.
I can do that. Yes, I can do that.
And let it leave some more.
Yes, I can do that.
And even more.
Yes. Yes, I can do that.
And even more.
Wow. Yes.
And how does that feel?
That feels incredible now. It's like riding a wave, isn't it? It's just like a wave
Yeah, and
of
then
a
it passes.
feeling.
It passes by, and then later on, maybe another wave comes up. But each time you greet them, instead of pushing them down or avoiding them, you welcome them. Then each wave just passes and leaves, and it's like peeling away a layer. Each wave is like a layer now, and then you're just taking away layers from your beingness that's been blocking you from seeing it.
I can really feel that beginning to leave, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just talking to you right now, I can just feel it just coming out, just zooming out.
So
Thank
open
you,
up
Chris.
and let it leave even more.
I will do. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Right. Good.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate
Wonderful. Yeah, my pleasure.
that. And thank you so much for doing these calls. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right, so in a minute, we will do a big cleanup. But first, I just want to let you know, you see, with this situation that's happening in the world right now, you have a choice. You could see it as an obstacle, a setback, but I choose to see it as an opportunity. To me, what's happening right now is brilliant because it's a big wake-up call that our life, our happiness isn't in the world. And what's going on shows us how easily everything that we value, that we hold on to for our happiness, can be taken away from us, just stripped away. So it can be really clear, if you look at it, that going in that direction is no good. And so this is a wonderful wake-up call to now realize, where is my happiness? Where have I been running away and hiding and looking for it? And what have I been avoiding, where all I end up doing is just making myself more and more unhappy? And as we stop and look at our lives leading up to this moment, we can see as much attention as we've been putting into our lives. And even if they're good intentions, like our family, children, our careers, really important things, that we're still not satisfied and it's still not good enough. We can see that more clearly now. And this is an opportunity to focus ourselves back on us. To say, wow, that's a crazy world out there. Where am I going to find my peace, my security, my stability, and my happiness? It's not out there, it must be somewhere else. The only place left to look now is within. That's why I think this is a brilliant opportunity, right? Because now we can really make a choice to go back within. And that's why in May, I'm doing something special. I did this before, and it was a brilliant program, and it's just perfect for this time right now. See, starting on May 8th is a new class called Living Your True Purpose. Because we've been living a false purpose that's now been thrown in our face. Now you can take this moment, and this is a great moment because there isn't much to do out there except watch Netflix, watch YouTube. You can use this time to go within. And what I've done before with this course, like I said before, it's brilliant. I focused on, well, what does it take to go free, to go all the way? Well, one important thing that it takes is to make releasing constant. And for those of you who are familiar with Lester's work, you know that's in the 6 steps. Make releasing constant. And so throughout this course, I've done all these challenges, like daily challenges to just focus on one releasing activity, one simple little thing. And a lot of them are very, very simple. But practice it all day long. Make it like your daily meditation. And day by day, we do these challenges to be quiet, to be loving, and focus on that. And it kind of grows our sense of skill in ourselves and our ability to release and have a bunch of tools to rely upon in order to let go. And so it really gets you to be an expert at releasing, at making it constant, and also bringing you into a deeper awareness of who you are. So it's really about just total freedom and doing what it takes to be there completely. So that's in May. It's a 6-week course, and we do 2 live classes each week on Friday and Saturday. And then in addition to that, I record guided releasing videos where like I guide you through some exercises, I do some cleanups, and it's like Sean Lights, where you just sit back and you listen, you follow along, you just release. And I kind of walk you through some important exercises, and I go and I demonstrate some of these challenges. So you get lots and lots of material, and it gets added to your members area. So it's like a growing library of resources, releasing videos, and so on. So you get a whole lot in these 6-week courses. So got that in May. And then also right after that, following that is a course on wealth manifestation. And this is really to get bigger than all the hype about how bad the economy's going to become, how difficult life is going to be. If you want to buy into it, you can. But you can have your own picture, and you can use it as a way to go in a completely different direction and have lots of wealth in your life. Right now, in this situation, I'm actually building a lot of wealth, even though I'm not doing anything. Nothing's changed. But just focusing on having a wealth mindset, knowing that it's not out there, it's in here, and eliminating all those old programs that I had to work really hard. Yeah, it used to be a big program because I saw my sister do it. She was a real kind of a type A personality, and she worked really hard through school. She skipped the 8th grade, she skipped the 11th grade, she got a scholarship into college, became a very successful veterinarian, and that was my program. It's like, well, you have to work hard to be really successful and make a lot of money. And I didn't want to work hard, so I felt like, well, I'm not going to be successful. I proved all that wrong. I'm going to show you how to do that in this course. It's starting in July. And the way I set it up is that the courses, they by themselves are $4.95. So if you sign up for the Living Your True Purpose course, it's $4.95. But if you want to do the Wealth Manifestation course, you can add it for $100 more. So you can get both of those for just $5.95. If you go to the website and you go to the Living Your True Purpose course, you'll see an option in there. So you can get both of them for that. All right. So I just want to let you know about that. They're going to be super powerful. We're really going to go all out on these courses coming up here. But now, let's get a deeper sense of the power that's inside of us. All right, so close your eyes. Let yourself get nice and relaxed. And just take a quick scan over your body. See if you're holding any tension in your body. Check your shoulders. See if you have tension in your shoulders. And just become aware. Let your shoulders relax. And bring your awareness to your back. Are you holding any tension in your back? Maybe you're sitting in a funny way. Right, and just let that relax. And now bring your awareness to your face. A lot of times, without realizing it, we're clenching our jaws. We have a lot of tension in our forehead. So just see if you're having any tension, you're holding it there. Just let that relax. And now, pay attention to your mind. And what is your mind telling you right now? Is it telling you have problems? Is it saying things like, yeah, this is nice right now, but I'm going to have to get back to my real life? And all those limitations I don't have an answer to. You notice your mind is actually not satisfied with going quiet. It'll do everything it can to pull you away from it. It may even try to pull you away right now. But don't resist it if it is. Whatever your mind is doing right now, just sit back and watch it. Just watch. Just observe. You don't have to take your mind so seriously right now. It's okay. You can take it seriously later if you want. You don't have to do that now. Just watch. 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 Now think of a limitation that you have right now in your life. Maybe it's just a simple limitation of freedom with the restrictions. Maybe it's a limitation financially. Whatever. And when you think about this limitation that you have, something that is beyond you, something that you cannot control right now, you don't have an answer to. Put your head down, close your eyes, and see if you have a tightness in your stomach or chest. All right? Wherever you feel that, open up. Open up that imaginary window or door. And let that energy go. You see, that limitation is an illusion. And you'll never see through that illusion using your mind. But when you just open up, let the energy go, you'll see it. You'll see the truth. So just let that energy go. And let it go even more. And even more. And even more. And let that energy go. It's just energy. It's not good. It's not bad. Just energy passing through. Let it leave even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. Now get a picture of that limitation. Whatever that looks like to you. And right now, as you're sitting here with your eyes closed and that door open, where is that limitation? It's in your mind right now, in this moment. Isn't it? It's just a picture in your mind that you're looking at. And the mind deals in pictures only. That's all the mind is. It's just a picture machine. So get a picture of that limitation. That picture belongs to you. You're the owner of it, and you're in control of it. Now, most of us, when we're confronted with a picture that we don't like, a picture of doom and gloom, a picture of a catastrophe, we don't like that. We reject that picture. We fight with it. Does that make the picture go away? No. And you're not acting like you're the owner. You're acting like a victim of that picture rather than the owner of it. So now, instead of fighting with it, that picture, that limitation, whatever it looks like to you, could you give that picture some approval, just right now in this moment? Could you give that picture some more approval? Just love it. Just a picture. And could you love it even more? And could you love it even more? And even more. And even more. And just love it. Without any need for it to change. Without any need to overcome it. Just love it. And give it permission to be there. Give that picture permission to be exactly whatever it wants to look like. Could you allow it to be? And could you allow its beingness even more? And even more. And even more. And even more. And notice how you feel about that picture now. Are you loving it? And while you are loving it, is it as big of a problem? Now, get that picture in your mind, that limitation that you have, whatever that looks like to you. You see, that picture belongs to you. And since you're the owner, just imagine that picture evaporating, dissolving away. Just imagine that picture evaporating and dissolving, whatever that limitation looks like. And allow it to evaporate and dissolve even more. And allow it to evaporate and dissolve even more. And even more. And allow it to evaporate and dissolve even more. And even more. And notice where that picture existed in the first place. At least right now, in this moment. It's in your mind. It's only in your mind. And even when it seems real out there, it's still only in your mind. Now that you've dissolved it, notice a difference. Does it seem as real out there? Now what does this tell you? You're bigger and more powerful than your mind. So it's time to act like it. And drop that mind. Get a picture of your mind. whatever that looks like to you. Could you let that picture evaporate and dissolve? Just imagine it dissolving away. And let that picture dissolve even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And get a picture of your ego. Because when things go wrong, isn't it just your ego that reacts? And why does it react? Because it's full of wants and desires. Things aren't going your way. You can't do what you want. You're not getting your goals. And then you feel frustrated. Not at ease. Why? It's just that ego. So get a picture of that ego. And notice, that ego is your picture. It's like a whole fiction. You wrote a whole novel about yourself. Who you are, how you act, your behaviors, your likes, your dislikes. You all build it up into a big story where you're the main character. It's just a story that you tell yourself every single day. And when that story is threatened, you react. When the wants and the desires in that story aren't achieved, you react. Now get that picture of that ego and let that picture evaporate and dissolve. Just let that ego dissolve. It's a lot of weight to carry around. All that information about yourself. Who needs that? It just drags you down. Just let that picture evaporate, dissolve away. And let it evaporate and dissolve even more. And even more. And even more. And you see, that ego, that story is only as true as you say it is. You made it up in the first place. And now you've been having to live with it. Right? So just let that whole story dissolve away, disappear to nothing. Now ask yourself this question. If I'm not my mind, and if I'm not that story, who am I? Just take a look, and whatever you see, just surrender to it, no matter what it is. If I'm not my mind, if I'm not that ego, that story, and if I'm not those limitations, those are just a part of the story, then who am I? There's no right or wrong answer, just take what you get. Could you let go? And just let that take you wherever it's going now. And surrender to that even more. And even more. And let yourself fall into quiet. Notice the quiet. It's always around you. It never leaves. Notice the quiet around you right now, wherever you are. Even when there's noise, there's quiet. A layer of quiet. And see if there's any end to it. Quiet goes on for infinity. Now, see if quiet has any problem with the coronavirus. See if quiet has any problem with an economic recession. See if quiet has any problem with a lockdown. Notice, none of these issues exist in the space of quiet. Quiet knows nothing about those. Just look at quiet. It dwells in perfection. To quiet, everything is just perfect. There's no problem. There's no obstacle. There's no limitation. And guess what? You are quiet. Now feel the quiet. Notice how nice it is. How peaceful and loving it is. It's a home of happiness. Deep, deep happiness. And it's in quiet that everything is immediately possible. Where you have the power to focus your mind. Just focus on exactly what you want, and you'll have it quickly. Despite what the odds are, despite what your mind says. Quiet has no such limitations as that. So it's your choice now. Do you side with quiet? Or do you side with your mind? It's your choice. I'm assuming you're choosing quiet. Could you surrender to quiet? And could you surrender to quiet even more? And even more. See if there's anything to be afraid of in quiet. See if you could be destroyed in this place of quiet. Notice. No matter where you are in life, you are. No matter what's going on in life, you are. The ups and the downs, you're just there to witness it. And when you're in quiet, you don't get swept away by anything. You're stable, you're whole, you're complete, you're perfect. And you're all powerful. Now it's up to you to decide to go for this, to decide that this is more important than the noise, than your mind, than the world. Quiet is most important. So jump into it with both feet. Don't hold back. Just give it everything now. Jump into quiet. And just be quiet. And when you're ready, allow your eyes to open. All right. Well, thank you for being here this evening. It's good to see some of your smiling faces, some I haven't seen in a while. And we'll schedule another one this week, or not this week, next week. Everything's all the same week when you're in quiet. But next week, I'm not sure which day, but if you're on the email list, you'll get a notification. I'll remind you. If you aren't, just go to powerofquiet.com, and at the top there you can put in your name and email address. That way you'll get on the list. And yeah, we'll explore some more skills about how to weather this situation that we're in. And we'll focus on another aspect of being centered, being clear, and moving above it all. All right, so as long as this is going on, we're going to keep going on. So thanks for being here. And if you want a replay, it's loaded up live right now to YouTube. So after it's done, it'll probably take a little time to process, but it'll be there on YouTube. youtube.com/powerofquiet. And check out that Living Your True Purpose course, because we have a serious intention, the group of us here, to go for it, go all the way. If you want to join us, you're invited. Welcome aboard. All right, so see you all later. Have a wonderful evening. Stay quiet, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.